Good evening. So great to have you here. I'm Laura Painter.
And I'm Chris Thomas. Thanks for joining us on the ABC10 app. We start tonight with a weather impact alert as rain and snow return this week to Northern California. Want to get right over to Chief Meteorologist Monica Woods with more on what to expect, Monica.
All right. Well, we've got two sections of this weather impact alert, the first of which hits us overnight tonight, beginning Tuesday through Wednesday. Rain returns, lowering snow levels and travel delays. But really, the bigger impact storm arrives this weekend, and that takes takes us into next week as well, with heavier snow as well as widespread rain. Our winter weather alert in place for tonight, starting up at 10 p.m. Winter weather advisory that takes us all the way into Wednesday with 4 to 18 inches of snow and travel delays. And then also the rain will start up overnight through early tomorrow. Current winds kind of signaling something's going on here. Northwest winds at about 15 to 20 miles per hour. Overnight, we start to see more cloud cover coming in from the weather system setting off the coast. That's going to feed us with the rain and snow to get things going here after a dry stretch of weather. We get through the morning commute with fairly dry weather, but look at the evening commute. That's quite a bit different. Snow will continue to pile up as well for this year. Forecast highs a little bit cooler than today, but the bigger shift in weather is still looming. More clouds for tonight, mountain flurries tomorrow, rain and snow, active storm track ahead. We'll have that coming up, guys.
Okay, Monica, thank you. Right now, public transit service in California's 11th largest city and across San Joaquin County are powering back up after being halted for almost 4 hours.
Yeah, San Joaquin RTD union employees staged a protest to send a message as the RTD board decided on the fate of CEO Alex Clifford. ABC 10's Gabriel Porras has the story tonight.
Union leaders say their message was intended for RTD board members, but in reality, the people impacted the most are the ones right behind me, the people who have had to cancel plans, call rides, or wait hours for a bus that never came. The engines hummed, the lights blinked, the passengers were ready, but these buses outside San Joaquin RTD headquarters Monday did not move for hours. You guys have been sitting here for 2 hours.
Yes, sir.
For Tabitha Wright and her 6-year-old daughter, it meant a movie date downtown instead of their planned pedicures.
She is constantly, Mom, when are they going to get here? Mom, when are they going to get here? You know, and it's very frustrating for myself.
I'm frustrated a little bit because all of them are out here and they're all piled up. Everybody's trying to find their buses. Another 15 more minutes, I guess.
It ended up taking nearly 4 hours for union-represented bus operators to get behind the wheel.
There will be a decision made today.
It followed a special meeting of the RTD board with 3 items on the agenda, including public employee discipline, dismissal, release, and the appointment of an interim CEO.
This is in the 35 years that I've been here, buses have never stopped like this. We are out here now because our CEO, Alex Clifford, he has been nothing but wonderful to us.
We're hoping that the board will make a conscious decision and not a political decision.
The decision, according to CEO Alex Clifford, was to place him on paid administrative leave. Under his contract, it's a step toward termination.
This is significant to take a CEO out for no reason whatsoever. We had some minor inconveniences to some customers out there. I'm sad about that part, but it's a one-time thing for a pretty major event occurring at this agency.
People got to be somewhere, you know. I get dropped off right here and expect the bus not to be delayed.
By late afternoon, the buses had their drivers again, and riders hope the road ahead runs smoother.
Hopefully they get whatever they need to get resolved, you know what I mean?
In Stockton, Gabriel Porras, ABC 10.
Gabriel, thank you for that update. We reached out to San Joaquin RTD for information and comment, but have not received that info just yet.
Well, parents impacted by Catholic school closures in South Sacramento say they're still demanding answers from the diocese. They formed a committee and launched a petition saying they have not seen the data used to justify the decision to close 2 schools at the end of this year. The diocese announced St. Patrick Academy and St. Charles Borromeo will close in June, with a new regional Catholic school set to open at St. Robert in August. While the diocese cites declining enrollment, parents say meetings have been informational only and that some parents who tried to approach the bishop directly say they were told the decision was final.
Why? If you really cared about these children, if you really cared about their souls and their faith formation and being here to raise them up, why would you not come to us sooner and lay the cards out on the table? Be transparent. Tell us this is the situation.
Students have also spoken out saying leadership has not shown up to listen. Parents plan to take their concerns to Sacramento City Council tomorrow ahead of a final diocese informational session on Thursday. We'll have the full story and a response from the Sacramento Diocese at 6 on ABC 10. The Merced County Sheriff's Office located a body in the Delta Mendota Canal. They say it's an adult female, but they do not yet have an identification. The area where officials found the body is located 7 miles from where Stockton mother Lupita Ontiveros is believed to have crashed while riding a dune buggy late last month. She's been missing since the accident. Officials and family have been searching since the crash. Sheriff's Office posted on social media, quote, "While investigators are hopeful that Lupita has been located, the identity of the decedent cannot be confirmed at this time."
Tens of thousands of healthcare workers and nurses are entering week 3 on strike at Kaiser facilities across California and Hawaii. Today, pharmacy and lab workers in Southern California are joining the picket line to call out what they say are unfair labor practices. Organizers tell us local negotiations are continuing today, and they're hopeful to find common ground and return to work. As those talks continue, Kaiser recently said the union's actions, quote, "stalled progress and undermined the national bargaining process." They also described the wage demands as unsustainable, claiming they've offered their strongest contract proposal in their national bargaining history. Meanwhile, people on the picket line say they are continuing to fight for safe staffing levels and fair wages.
I think the pressure's on because we haven't been there. We've had to cancel patients. Hospitals are having trouble. We all want to get back to work and take care of our patients, and I hope that they see the value in the work that we do.
Picketers say today is the first day both sides have sat down for bargaining talks since this strike started 2 weeks ago.
Health officials are sounding the alarm with more than 700 measles cases reported so far this year in the U.S. That's according to recent CDC data. Officials say almost all the cases in the U.S. are tied to ongoing outbreaks in pockets of under or unvaccinated communities. The CDC says 20 states have reported cases, from California and Oregon to Virginia and Florida, where at least 2 universities have reported cases. One of the hardest hit states is South Carolina, where at least 900 people have been infected since the outbreak started in October. It's the largest measles outbreak in the U.S. since the virus was declared eliminated in 2000. Health officials are now urging Americans to get their shots.
Take the vaccine, please. We have a solution for a problem. Not all illnesses are equally dangerous, and not all people are equally susceptible to those illnesses. But measles is one you should get your vaccine.
Officials are urging people to look out for symptoms including fever, red eyes, and eventually that unmistakable rash. And unless it's a medical emergency, call ahead before seeking health care to avoid exposing others.
California health officials warning people to stop eating wild mushrooms. Since November, 4 people have died and dozens more have become sick. That's because California is home to 2 highly toxic mushrooms. One of them, called the death cap mushroom, looks very similar to safe mushrooms found in grocery stores. It also looks like mushrooms that are commonly found in other countries and are safe to eat. Compounding the issue is rain coming early this season and caused perfect growth conditions for death cap mushrooms.
Still ahead, trading spring sunshine for holiday chill, while a longtime tradition is moving to December.
Plus, a local pastor gets worldwide attention at the Super Bowl halftime show.
Well, after keeping it secret from his congregation for nearly a month, we are hearing from the South Sacramento pastor who officiated the surprise wedding at Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime show in Santa Clara.
Pastor Antonio Reyes says it was an honor and a once-in-a-lifetime experience to be part of what he calls history in the making. ABC 10's Roxanne Elias talked with the pastor and has his amazing story tonight.
I'm still trying to make sense of what just happened.
It was a surreal moment for Pastor Antonio Reyes, who officiated a real wedding on the field during Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime show. In front of 70,000 football fans at Levi Stadium, he took the stage as the artist performed Baile Inolvidable.
As soon as I stepped into the stadium, I was very emotional. And not just because of the stadium, but to me, it was because of the moment, what it represented to our Latino community. And so as soon as I stepped into the stadium, I felt it, and I wanted to cry, and I was like, just keep it together.
Reyes is the campus pastor at Project Church in South Sacramento. And through a friend who's a singer, he says he received the call almost 4 weeks ago asking if he'd be willing to do a wedding ceremony in Spanish for a couple. At the time, he says he didn't know who the couple would be, but was told it might be a celebrity. It wasn't until his wife was helping sign the paperwork that they realized the details of the once-in-a-lifetime ceremony.
And when she shows up, she starts reading and she starts screaming and yelling, in the kitchen. And that's when we find out that it was for the halftime show.
Reyes says the experience has given him a bigger appreciation for the dancers and producers of the show, after spending countless hours in rehearsals for about a week before. He says what stood out to him during the show was 2 main things: unity and a goal to make people feel seen through performance.
That was very clear that his desires was to communicate unity, that this country is made by all of us. It doesn't matter your race, your ethnicity, we all make this country.
He says as people live in complicated moments with hopelessness and despair, his message is for people to refuse to live in hopelessness.
Personally, I believe that there's a bigger story being told by the story of Jesus, and I want people to know that we don't have to be subjects of what is being told in culture, that our political parties do not have to have a say into how we feel and what we lean into.
Reyes says he met the couple about 3 weeks before the big day. He says they keep in touch and they're actually like family now. He says the couple is from Southern California, and when they're ready, they will share more about their big moment. For now, let's turn to Chief Meteorologist Monica Woods now, because she's got some big moments that she's also tracking. That includes some rain and snow in the forecast.
Right, and the timing of all of this is really interesting. It's going to maybe put a little damper on some people's plans.
I know, right? We had that Super Bowl, beautiful weather, and now things are quickly shifting back to a very active storm cycle. So the 3 things that we're going to be tracking today is the last dry day for a little while. We'll see a little bit of a break, but overall, today's the day to kind of bring things inside as well as get those umbrellas ready. Out the door tomorrow, it's not so rainy and snowy, but on the way home, that's when things really gear up. So that's going to be second up on the list. Third up is the weekend storm that just keeps giving and giving all the way through next week. Highs for today in the 60s, down low for the valley, still close to 70 for Fairfield, 60s for the foothills, and 40s up top for the Sierra. We're going to start to shift things around, though, bringing in more cloud cover for tonight. Right now, we've got readings in the 50s and low 60s for Sacramento, Stockton, Modesto, and Marysville. Tahoe currently 43 degrees with the dry weather, but lots of clouds, kind of indicating, hey, things are about to shift. As you can see with our timeline, those gusty winds that we had earlier today backing off ever so slightly early tomorrow morning, and then we start to bring in the rain. This big plume of moisture tapping into several low pressure systems coming in off the Pacific. So you can see the timeline here. Tomorrow and Wednesday, we've got our weather impact alerts with valley rain, Sierra snow, a break from the showers Thursday and Friday, and then we're right back with it for the weekend, which of course is not only Valentine's Day, but it's also the long holiday weekend for President's Day on next Monday. So tomorrow morning, this is how things look. Pretty much we're bringing in the cloud cover, a sprinkle here or there and a few snow flurries, but the more widespread event doesn't really pick up until the midday hours all the way through the evening commute. Again, more Sierra snow, and that continues overnight into Wednesday. So you can kind of see how we're going to get to those accumulations that it will be fairly decent for the Sierra. For the valley, the rain will start to back off overnight Wednesday into early Thursday. Slight chance of some thunderstorms in there as well. High pressure ridge back with us. Those are those Thursday, Friday dry days before this low pressure system starts to sweep on through, really opening things up. Big plunge of cold air with that as well. So our storm highlights, about a ½ inch to an inch of valley rain with our first storm. Temperatures holding pretty close to average. Wind gusts up to about 35 miles per hour, about 8 to 12 inches of Sierra snow, roughly at about 6,000 to 5,500 feet. The Saturday storm, that's a much colder one. By the time this is really getting going, our snow levels drop to about 2,500 feet. We're going to be totaling feet of snow and about 1 inch to 3 inches of rain with much colder valley temperature. So we're still unpacking the details on that one. Stay tuned for more updates. Highs are going to be near 40 tomorrow for the Sierra, 50s down low. Across the coast, we're dropping into the 50s to near 60, and we'll see that pretty much region-wide throughout the valley as well. A little bit of patchy fog early tomorrow, but then we really start to get the active storm cycle going, as you can see with indications here with our 5-day regional forecast. But really, when we show you the extended forecast, that's when you start to see the extent of how long this storm cycle is going to stay active deep into next week, with highs only about 51 to 52 degrees next week.
And you think about it, we were like 70, over the weekend?
I know. Yeah, it really tricked the plants. As I was driving in, I saw some of the almond blossoms, I believe they were, starting to bloom. Oh, man, here we go.
I know.
Switch. Monica, thank you.
Yep.
If you plan to visit the San Joaquin County Fair this year, be sure to pack your mittens. The fair announced it's moving to December this year. For years, it's been held in May. Now it will coincide with the fairground's Christmas events. Next at 5:30, did Super Bowl Sunday leave you ready to call a timeout at work? The push to make Super Bowl Monday a national holiday.
Plus, running through the snow in the dark while thousands of athletes suited up in glowing gear for a one-of-a-kind race. Okay, so you may be feeling a little tired today, maybe wishing you could have stayed home from work and spent the day recovering from Super Bowl Sunday.
Sounds like a lot of people out there, right? If that's you, you're likely not alone. Reporter Michael Yoshida has details on a push to make this Monday, after the big game, a national holiday.
Super Bowl Sunday have you wanting to call a timeout?
Nobody wants to work the Monday after the biggest game in football.
Nonprofit Super Monday Off Coalition is trying to make this idea a reality.
Wait, seriously?
Yes, seriously.
Advocating to make the day after the big game a national holiday.
What if we could pass some coffee runs?
Hard pass.
This effort is supported by goods and food delivery company GoPuff, donating to the cause and urging customers to sign a petition and contact elected officials.
We saw that our customers, the biggest two categories on the day after the Super Bowl are electrolyte drinks and water. We know they're looking for a sense of recovery. We know they're looking for a day off in some capacity.
A feeling apparently shared by many. A survey from UKG, a leading HR, payroll, and workforce management company, found that this year, an estimated 26.2 million American workers plan to miss work the Monday after the Super Bowl.
That leads to $5.2 billion in lost productivity.
UKG's Julie Devlin says whether it becomes a holiday or not, the message is clear.
The Super Bowl is really just the headline. The real story is, how do workplaces handle predictable disruptions all year long?
Devlin says companies should prepare with employees for big sports and pop culture events, especially routine ones like the Super Bowl. Also, making it easy to request time off or swap shifts can help lead to less disruption.
What we're trying to prevent here is that ghosting piece. We don't want employees just not showing up.
Food for thought. Food for thought.
How you feeling today?
Good. Perfect. You know what? I went to the grocery store. There was no one around. It was perfect timing.
It wasn't busy at all, was it?
It wasn't busy at all. We're like, when does the game start, actually? That's where we're going to go.
One of the few times of the year.
Is that bad? I was like, I'll catch up later.
You don't have to deal with large crowds and things like that.
Yep. We didn't have a stake in the game, so we were like, this year, it's okay.
You know, I have to say, I am a little tired. You know, I'm one of those ones that always watches for the halftime show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's just one of those days where I feel like I'm just like, okay.
But you're a good partier, though.
We'll get it done.
You're decent.
That's right.
Yeah, you're good. He's very well behaved. I will say that.
Thank you.
There's the excitement of the halftime show, probably. It was a very good show. Still to come, forget the finish line. This race you see right here is all about the lights, how runners turn city streets into a glowing winter spectacle. It's not an Olympic sport, but athletes gathered yesterday for an illuminating experience. You got to see this. It was in Copenhagen, Denmark. With snow covering large parts of the course, thousands of runners dressed in illuminated outfits ran through large-scale light installations and illuminated urban settings in the Danish capital. The race offered 2 routes of nearly 5 miles and 2 miles to allow as many participants as possible to enjoy the run through the beautiful city. The race was part of the annual Copenhagen Light Festival. Let's just look at them for a little bit longer. That's so cool. Very neat. They know what they're doing with the snow. You know, I trust them. They know what's going on. They know how to have fun in it.
That's not easy to do, though, in that weather, though, is it?
Right? And in the dark, too, but very neat.
And remember, we got a little rain and snow coming our way this week as well. Don't forget you can watch us anytime, any day on your schedule by watching right here on the ABC10 streaming app.